everybody, and welcome back to another day of BTS America's 4 action. We are still in round number 1, and we're about to embark on an adventure together where we will witness EnemyGG go against paiN Gaming. That's right, another $10,000 of prize money is going to be up for grabs, and some of these no-name, lower-tier ranked American squads are looking to make a name for themselves, and for others, well, maybe they're just trying out a new roster. Nonetheless, let's get into some more action. I'm KotLGuy, of course. And I'm going to be joined by a great buddy of mine. I got Maut back by my side. We're throwing it back now. Travis, my man, mad respect to you. Doing the hustling, the graveyard shift, working C Dota, and now even doing American Dota at the same time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How do you stay alive?
I really don't.
Okay.
I just don't sleep really, and I wake up. My hygiene's super terrible. I have the longest hair. It's all curly. I look like I literally just came out of a coffin.
Nice.
And it's a little rough. I'm gonna be honest with you. Getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep each night or even less than that. It's pretty terrible. And so, you're gonna hear a lot of wonky things coming from me out of my mouth. Like I'm just gonna say a lot of random shit, Dakota, and you're gonna have to, I think, hope for the best, honestly. And
okay.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Maut, I'm not gonna lie, you do sound a little terrible, but I cannot wait for the adventure we are about to go on. This should be a
thanks,
doozy.
man,
No problem. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, really.
This is gonna be a blast. I'm already looking forward to it here. So what do we already know about these two squads? Well, Maut, we both know we've seen paiN Gaming all over the place. By now, it's probably a tramp stamp on some serious fans by now. KotLGuy, respectable Southern American player in his own right.
He's a legend.
40R. These guys are legends, Maut. Legends.
Yeah. I think that's the coolest thing about this particular matchup is they're not really notable with the exception of KotLGuy. Like these teams, and maybe BSJ as well, but other than those two players, like nobody really knows these squads. They haven't been performing up to stuff really. They haven't done much
10 seconds remaining.
in terms of getting wins and playing in tournaments. They've really had a rough time. So the winner of this best of 3 series, interestingly enough, will go up against, I believe, Infamous, and that is a very good team that I think a lot of people they consider them good, but not as good as they should be considered. They're even stronger than a lot of people consider. So, regardless of this best of 3 series, whoever wins this game or this series is going to be in for some tough times if we get Infamous. But well, we're going to just wait and see how this best of 3 continues on because that's what we're looking forward to. It's just this best of 3 right here, right now. Who's going to take it?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're looking at.
Oh yeah. And on the extra note about Infamous that you were gloating about, and we got to see them firsthand. They did serious work. They 2-0'd the Void Boys. Yeah, it's not the Pat Soul, Omega Poner Void Boys we've come to know and love, but nonetheless, Infamous is a team that had to qualify to even play in BTS Americas. Them and Evernova had to play through that big open qualifier just to make it to here, and they're already in round number 2. And I know from the other BTS Americas, usually these open qualifier teams, they just get absolutely slaughtered right away. Typically, they've been slated against the, like the DCs and the Archons and stuff like that, and they just get knocked out right away. But Infamous, maybe they're going to be on a historical BTS Americas run. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
EnemyGG, though, Maut, this team, would you consider to maybe be one of the favorites to take the tournament? Maybe top 3? I mean, BSJ, we know this guy. We know him. Slark, Huskar, he's a fiend. We know Grant brags a lot about Sovereign, and Flying Zebra we know from Leviathan, of course. So
right. I mean, they have some notable names in terms of the tier 3 players and tier 4 players that have played potentially on tier 2 teams in America. Obviously, I think EnemyGG has the advantage, and I'm sure the odds are in their favor, and they definitely should be. They're going up against a paiN Gaming squad that has switched players so damn often that you can rarely keep track of it, and especially because I have no sleep right now. It's going to be hard to keep it all together and keep myself sane. And again, we'll talk about KotLGuy, who's just been around forever. That is one of the most respectable players in the South American squad. You look at Infamous, you look at Not Today, you look at those squads and you're like, these are the heroes and the teams that you should be looking at. But KotLGuy, he's trying to keep everything up to stuff for paiN Gaming, and with 40R as well, another solid name, and a relevant name as that, is going to be interesting to see how these squads play out. But I just hope to see good picks, man. I just want to see good picks and good Dota, and hopefully I don't die in the meantime.
Jesus Christ. It sounds like I'm listening to like you in the future, like 40 years from now. Maybe not even, I'm going 60 years from now, like 40 years. That's the name we've seen in a long time in Dota.
Yeah.
And I might die during this game, but it's okay.
I may pass to the other side.
Tell Penny I love her, and it's going to be okay. Just please don't feed. It's just don't worry, Ma. I can take the wheel here. You are a flower to all of us, and I would hate for you to melt away.
I do want to get involved in this cast. I want to be one of the people that's able to do some stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you want to do a majority of it, I would not complain whatsoever.
No worries. I can just get that 2 cents from Maut right there, and that's all of the medicine we would need, the Maut medicine. So I wouldn't fret about it too much. But let's get down to the matter at hand here, Maut. We got a draft well underway here. EnemyGG, they open up with an offlane grab on a Tide Hunter, and then they followed up with the OD, going for something like a Tide and not putting it together with what like a Team Secret or EG would love, and going for the Enigma. And the Enigma's been passed up altogether, so I guess they're just like, we want a little bit of team fight, but we don't need to go all in for the team fight. So let's settle with that for now. And then paiN Gaming, they open up with what many consider to be like the jewel of the off lane, and in this patch right now, the Beastmaster providing that wonderful map control, BKB regardless stun, and they're going to be pairing his mild pushing power along with a Lady Death Prophet here.
I mean, there's pretty damn good heroes on both sides at this point. EnemyGG, they'll pick up the Tide Hunter, they'll pick up the Outworld Devourer, and obviously Outworld Devourer, nobody really needs to discuss or explain why he's so damn solid at this point in time. He's very good in mid. You look at these two mid heroes, these are the heroes that everybody just hates to play against. Oh, there's an OD in my lane. I'm sure that'll go well. Oh, there's a Death Prophet. Spirit Siphon, what a great ability. Completely balanced, 100%. No issues there. So I think that this is actually going to be a fun mid lane matchup if the Outworld Devourer goes mid. He can go safe lane. We've seen safe lane farming heroes, and I've had them in my stacks numerous times. So I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. It comes down to this mid lane, I think, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm anticipating it pretty highly.
And
is it really that bad, dude? Am I like dead?
It does sound like you're not feeling well, Maut. It's just I'm split between two ways, Maut, because I love you to death, and I have been looking forward to this cast all day, and I think casting with you is probably some of the best casting experience I ever get to have. But my best friend side of me wants to say you probably should take the day off, especially if you're going to be casting C later, for sure.
No, I'm not. So that's the thing. I actually have a day off.
Okay.
Andrew is going to do one of the games. It's only one game, I believe, tomorrow. And I could have done SCA, but I decided to get myself better.
Okay.
And so I'll sleep a lot more.
If you want to hang around, then let's make maybe an agreement that I will do a lot of the play-by-play. I don't want you to kill it altogether, all right? And then if you want to chime in old man Maut style, like, that was a great play, then my God, I would love that too.
Listen, man.
Don't overextend yourself, all right, my brother?
It's going to be tough. I'm gonna trust you, and I'm going to do my best in that regard, but you're going to see, I'm going to get better as the game progresses. In fact, in like 5 to 10 minutes, my voice is gonna be fine,
okay.
And then I'll be able to do maybe that team fight. You just gotta trust me. You just gotta trust me, Dakota.
All right. We'll see. This could end up being some of your best casting yet. Who knows, right, Maut? We'll see.
It will be, absolutely.
All right, EnemyGG, they get Vengeful Spirit now, providing some Roche potential, which they didn't really have, between a Tide and an Outworld. Now you have Venge, I guess, who can always go for something simple like a Medallion to help get them that bit of Roche. paiN Gaming get off the star-studded Lion support grab here, so you get great burst. Obviously, you need a bit of stun and lockdown. I guess caking it together with Beastmaster only makes their setup that much more dramatic, so... I like it all together. Maybe early preparations for what they suspect that BSJ is going to be going for. They've respected his Ursa in banning that out, but it does leave out the Slark. Are there any other notables that we know BSJ to play a lot of outside of like Huskar? No, we don't need to go down that road, Maut. I think there's our answer.
Good call, man. You don't even need me at this point, honestly. That's just you're on point. They'll pick up the Slark for BSJ, and that's just a great hero. I mean, there are other options to the safe lane. I'm surprised. You talked about Ursa. I think that's one of the best heroes right now in Dota 2. I think that's just an amazing hero to pick up and just go to town. Sven obviously has been another pickup, and My voice is actually getting worse as the game progresses. Good stuff.
No. It's like Nahaz. You remember Nahaz at Frankfurt style?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Remaining.
It's like that. Like, I would be ashamed and feel
5
bad if
seconds
people, like,
remaining.
even if you know you're good to go, if everyone comes in and is like, that guy's dying. He's dying. You're killing him.
Radiant
You're
team
forcing him to
back.
cast. You're tying him up with chains, and you're slaughtering him and killing him.
Oh God.
Or I could just take it the other way and go, Maut, what has Moonduck done to you? What have they done to you? When I worked with you last, you were a young, rambunctious, spirited man. No, I'm just kidding.
10
I've got that
seconds
energy still to
remaining.
go.
Oh, for sure. For sure,
but,
man.
but
But,
SCA
5
Dota,
seconds remaining.
the style of
oh
play,
my
the
God.
energy,
How many
the
pauses?
amount.
How many pauses have you had to go through?
You don't want to know in
I'm
this
sorry.
past game,
You
dude.
sound like you went through a war, like you just did the sea
It
battle.
was a war.
You're gonna
It was
tell-
an hour and a half game
Whoa.
that lasted 45 minutes in game.
That's like a 3-day war in like Dota world. That's
Dire
ridiculous.
team pick.
So
It was tough.
I hope
It
you
was
got a medal.
definitely not easy to
All right.
cast, but it was the last game
Survivor.
of the day,
All right.
and I made it through it. So, well, they pick up the Doom coming out for paiN gaming, so they have a couple of silences as well, which is really nice. A silence against Slark before he can get his death backed off, and a silence against Tidehunter are really important. And yeah, it's going to be tough to deal with the Doom coming out for
10
EnemyGG,
seconds
but it looks like how are they going to play it? You know, they have the off-letter Beastmaster already.
5
They
seconds
have
remaining.
one support if you assume the Doom is not going to be a support, but he very
That's
well
a
could
China
be
Doom,
in that
for sure.
jungle.
Reserve.
Yeah, it could be safe lane. Of course, we have to open up all possibilities all over the place. But
Radiant
that's
team
a
pick.
4 position, possibly a China Doom coming in, and that almost feels like they had that waiting in their back pocket just for this BSJ Slark. I mean, you had to know it was possibly coming. Hell, if I can make the call, Maut, these guys should be able to know it's coming up. So I feel like the Doom was just a preparation tool for it. The problem is now Bounty Hunter comes out, and when this Doom wants to kind of go jungle around a bit, that is just not going to happen. Now you got the shenanigans of the
10
Bounty Hunter
seconds
out there. He's
remaining.
going to be poking and prodding at the mid lane, Death Prophet a bit. Lion's going to have to be on full duty, just kind of taking care of mid, but then he's got to watch over for the safe lane, which is now Ember Spirit. So I guess Ember Spirit's going to be, okay on his own, but we know Ember Spirit, if he has a bad start, he will not end up doing so well later through this game. So I can't help but feel like this is a lot of pressure for paiN. But you could say EnemyGG, if this Bounty Hunter doesn't do Bounty Hunter things, it could be problems for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, you think about Outworld Devour. That's a hero that if he doesn't have a good start, the game pretty much is over. I think a lot of people will be like, whoa, that's a pretty, that's a lot, to say that. But Outworld Devour is just, he's a hero that you have to have a good start. If you don't get good farm early on the game, if you don't get maybe a couple of kills or just, at least getting a little bit of CS here and there, you're in a tough spot,
5
Outworld
seconds
Devour,
remaining.
he doesn't catch back up, like at all, with the exception of maybe just finding a team wipe or, 5-man. At least maybe 3 to 4 kills in that situation to get back in. So I think that Outworld Devour has a lot on his shoulders. His transition into the late game is going to be helped because they have a Bounty Hunter. If he gets level 6, then they have really good methods and ways to actually get the experience, to get the gold from that track. So they actually have a couple of good things going with EnemyGG in that regard. They have a really good team fight as well. But paiN Gaming, they have a lot in terms of CS, in terms of just straight up the ability to actually take the team fight to a little bit later. I like EnemyGG's draft because of the Bounty Hunter pick, but it's still very difficult. It's a lot of team fight for both sides, a lot of initiation potential. Roar, Earth Spike. There is just so much control for paiN Gaming as well.
And I couldn't have said it any better myself, Maut.
I mean, are you sure
tone
about that?
and clarity, I could have said it better, but the message is what I'm getting at. And I mean, Maut, I hate to do this, what's coming, but what if we make an agreement? I'll move forward with the game. You hang, watch the game, and maybe we get a post-Maut wrap-up, and then see how you feel for game number 2. I want on one hand, give you the opportunity to cast, but on the other hand, I want to be a good friend and say, please don't kill yourself for the love of God.
Is it really that bad?
It's pretty bad, dude. It's pretty.
Wow.
As a good friend, I wouldn't, lie to you at all.
People told me this morning that I was having issues, just straight up voice, and the microphone makes it sound even worse.
I mean, you're busting your ass, man. Every time I pop open Twitch, you're casting something, and not just that, you're solo casting it. So that's just crazy. And you're doing
Dude.
C Dota. That is just... I mean, we got to... I'm going to give it up for you right here
I
now.
mean, I
but
appreciate it, but I need the voice to change. Like, I need the voice to change. I need my voice to not be as deep and to actually...
Take a game, have some water, maybe throw some salt, gargle it up
All
a
right.
bit, see how you feel.
Listen.
Yeah, okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 5 to 10 minutes
Okay.
fixing my voice, and
Okay.
I'm going to chime in when I can,
All right.
but just think of it as me not being here altogether for at
Fair
least
enough.
the next 2 minutes, okay?
You take your time, Maut. Love you to death. And even the players are making sure you take your time, as they don't want to get hopping into the game right away. They want to make sure that everything is squared away here as we wait for paiN Gaming's Death Prophet to kind of get back in order. But, you know, Maut said it appropriately here. And for EnemyGG, it feels nice. Love the last pickup here, but they got to make sure they can get what they need out of the early part of this game if they really want to have a fruitful kind of experience here. I would expect that, you know what, coming into this... I don't know, maybe a slight nod towards EnemyGG, but I could see this game really going either way right now. Am I missing something? And everyone frickin' DC, Purple's idle. I don't know what the hell that actually means here and why we're not actually getting started, but I suppose we'll have to continue to wait it out right now. And just to update everyone with where we actually are here on the bracket, still round number 1. The winner of this is to move on into the second round to face Infamous, that team that did qualify to get in here. So they'll have that awaiting them right now. We were originally supposed to be doing Shazam versus Not today, but that's not going to happen today. That will be actually happening on the 23rd. So there are a few schedule adjustments. So what was supposed to be originally 2 best-of-3s todays is now just this one easy breezy best-of-3 here happening here. So back in, and apparently we are still not in the game at this point. I'm not aware if the game is actually happening, and I'm stuck looking at the draft, or if I'm in a different dimension at this point. But you know, I can only theorycraft out my ears so much how this is going to work out. But I will have to say, you know, maybe paiN Gaming hold out. They don't worry too much about the scary bounty hunter at the start. Slark is one of the best at being able to go man mode here, but Ember Spirit, well, we've seen many Ember Spirits in our past that are going to be able to pull the game back and put it on its back right here. It's fiery Ember back. And see, everybody has Maut's back. They want to make sure that he's good. They love him to death. They want to make sure he's all healthy and well. All respect right here. Alright, seriously, what the hell? I'm missing something. I might do a disconnect, reconnect here just to make sure everything is good. I hope I'm not missing the game here. What is happening with my Dota? How appropriate, an Ember Spirit wallpaper. Nope, definitely game still not starting, apparently. Alright, well, we'll continue to wait it out as it is right now. Oh, Lennar did pick up his hero. By the way, guys, sorry if I say their names wrong. I'm not sure who's using what alias right here. Obviously, King RD and 40R I'm pretty familiar with, but... Oh, that's an unpause. That's a game, and we are finally going to get started, so... Sorry about the delays, folks, but we are happy to begin game number 1 for BTS America's War round number 1 matchup between paiN Gaming and EnemyGG. Well, you know what? As a bit of a throwback right here, because people were talking about it and we have the time, why don't we do a bit of that fancy introductions that people love, but for some reason I think is awkward as hell. Sovereign's going to be playing your Tidehunter towards his off lane. He's going to be accompanied with Flying Zebra on that roaming pesky bounty hunter. Up and above, Slayer, going to be playing your Outworld Devourer right now. He does not have the golden weapon, so it's inferior. BSJ, you love him, you hate him. He loves Slark. He'll be playing that up and above. And we got Frozen, who's going to be playing your Vengeful Spirit here to round out things for EnemyGG on the Dire. Radiant side, paiN Gaming, the Brazilian group here. We got Lenaro, who's going to be playing your Death Prophet. King RD, the one and only, going to be playing your, what looks like 4-position Doom. Down below, we got Lil, who's going to be playing your Lion. Not that Lil. This is Lilkin 6, apparently. He's got to be careful here. Him and 40R on that Ember Spirit are going to be stalked out. Do they have any sentries on hand? We have 1 sentry here on the Death Prophet. I don't think they're going to be ballsy enough to drop it and catch out a pesky bounty hunter, but they'll have it ready for a D-Ward nonetheless. Lots of regen is going to be here for Sovereign on his Tidehunter. 8 tangos, 1
The battle
salve.
begins.
He expects he's going to be pressured a lot. Flying Zebra's already getting that early bit of intel here to see where KotLGuy is. And he went with the boots first on this Doom, so he's going to be very, very fast. You better hope he gets that good first creep here, but even if that comes, Flying Zebra is going to be on watch nearby. And how about this mid lane matchup right now? OD versus the Death Prophet here. Expecting OD to kind of get the upper hand as far as CS, but that could be influenced one way or the other depending on how this Doom and Bounty Hunter are going to get around this mid lane. It looks like Bounty Hunter is actually going to be going for the bottom. You know, she was preparing a sentry for that mid lane, but it's not going to be necessary here. Flying Zebra is looking for a different target. I'd say possibly the Lion, but I don't know how that's really going to get done. Oh, they have their own sentry. They drop it. They see Flying Zebra now. They're going to hit him with a stun, but I don't really foresee any way that they're going to get a kill off of it. So Tidehunter easily walks in, smacks him with the anchor right here. And now we'll see a bit of a trade happen out. This makes things very comfortable for the Death Prophet, who you can see taking the high ground right now and just starts going at Slayer. And this is a man mode fight right now. Slayer is just going to have to take it, and he will pop his salve and walk away. Still 3 tangos for the Death Prophet here. So she'll be good. And what the hell's happening here in the top lane? We have a dual matchup here from both sides as KotLGuy's made his full Doom rotation all the way up to the top. And it is going to be a serious fight, but this is very nice for the Beastmaster here. Any +1 will make this lane that much easier for him.
All right.
Oh, hello. Okay.
I've missed a little bit, I think, but for the most part, I'm here ready to go, and I'm excited.
Right,
I like the way these lanes are shaping up. I haven't really seen much, but so far, I'm looking forward to BSJ playing his Slark, farming it up in that top lane. He went PMS, so he's got a lot of defensive capabilities. Player in mid should be okay, but
Oh, but top lane's not going to be okay, Maut. We got Flying Zebra who made a rotation from bottom all the way up here, and the Beastmaster, I was just starting to praise for being able to have a nice lane to work with, is now in a bit of trouble. I was just getting ready to talk about how these 4 positions are not really getting too proactive as of yet, but just as I was getting ready to bring up the thought, it is going to be Flying Zebra who goes right to work, and EnemyGG get themselves on the board and will obtain the first blood. Very nicely done here.
that's really good. Bounty Hunter obviously getting involved. He's sitting at level 2. Level 3 is huge to get that shuriken toss and start getting that extra damage going his way. And level 6, the most important level of all.
Oh, yes.
We'll see if that Bounty Hunter can actually hit it. He's going to rotate back up towards top. Vision-wise, there's no ward up for the Radiant squad, so Doom is going to get help, though, coming up from the, rather, Beastmaster is going to get help from the Doom. He's got the Unholy Aura, which is great. The regen from that particular aura is solid. But BSJ is just going to hit him with a little bit of right click coming out, and
He's peppering him a bit.
Go.
He wants to get the kill because he knows Zebra is going to be coming in to help him out, and it will be another successful gank for the Bounty Hunter here. Maybe Doom just not kind of recognizing with BSJ kind of getting in his face that something might be up, and it's the one lane that they didn't have the kind of sentry detection for. Mid lane they got covered, bottom lane they got covered, so you know by deduction it makes it easy for Flying Zebra to know that they can add extra attention to this top lane, and this is going to make things wonderful for the Slark, and force paiN to go a bit on recovery mode and make the most out of this mid and bottom lane, which for mid lane they are matched up pretty evenly, 13 apiece. So Death Prophet is able to kind of hold her own, and more regen going to be sucked out here from Slayer. And speaking of getting sucked here, Soul Siphon already out. Slayer's in trouble, but he wants to fight it out with a Fairy Fire. Dishes out the Astral. Is this going to be enough?
He's gonna back. He realizes that I actually, you know, I can't do anything here. Slayer's like, I could potentially get that kill, but I just don't have the HP, and so.
Zebra snags up the bounty right in the face of the
That's
Death
huge.
Prophet. It is.
That's
Now
so
she's
important.
stuck with an empty bottle. The courier is going to be on its way to probably ferry out.
Oh,
That
man.
is very frustrating.
Look at this dive. Slayer almost got caught. He's able to just juke and jive. It is nighttime, so it makes it a lot easier for him to survive. And but look at this. The push is gonna come through. They don't have exorcism, not yet. Anyways, he's level 5. He's getting close. So there's still a little bit of ways before he can take down that tier 1 tower. So now they'll split back up. They're gonna make sure that paiN continues to get farmed. They'll get up the double damage room picked up by the Death Prophet, and it's back to farming for everybody else.
And KotLGuy with that rotation all the way here to bottom now. Needs a bit of solo time to kind of continue to farm up. This is where we might start to see a couple of the level 6s come online here. Sovereign's getting pretty close to his. He's got some nice farm, man. 26 CS for an off-lane Tidehunter. But top lane is where the action is. We catch the last wind of that, but it is Beastmaster going down. Another successful attempt. We'll be taking down the BM a notch here. 0-2 for him. And still only with that Iron Talon. It's going to be a long road when you compare him to how much this Tidehunter is able to get in the game. It's pretty easy to say that EnemyGG are off to a pretty fantastic start.
Yeah, and they're looking for more. The line mid is alone currently. Shadow Walk behind the tower. Flying Zebra not in any detection range whatsoever. They have a very good observer where they placed way early on in the game. He's going to try to find little Kino here. And I don't know if he can get this kill. He's looking for it, but he's only level 3. He's going to get the Janata off. And there's nothing he can really do.
Yeah. Just kind of keeps him in check, and it forces Line to let everyone know that the Bounty Hunter is still on the watch here. And KotLGuy has to know that he's going to be nearby. He does have a couple of sentries on hand.
Dire's middle tower
It looks
is
like
under
nothing is going
attack.
to be made out of it here. It's a 6-minute rune time. Death probably will be able to grab up a nice little arcane rune there at the top. Slayer makes his reappearance back towards this mid lane right now. Still only holds the Null Talisman. And bottom, we continue to see fisticuffs break out here. 40R trying his best to keep the Tide out of the lane, but as we know, Tide is really able to thrive in any sort of one-on-one. Flying Zebra goes in and will not decide to engage. We'll let 40R kind of step back and steady as she goes
Radiant's
here.
top tower
Intense
is under
best of
attack.
3. We got to remember this is a single elimination bracket, as a lot of these kind of online cups are. So you only get one series and you're done.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not a best of one. You know, in best of one, like we've seen from C Capital, you can get crazy picks. You know, maybe Brood Mother or just any other real opportunity that you're not used to. That it's just maybe a pocket strat that comes out, but it's not really that for paiN. They have a pretty solid draft, good fight potential, and
now they are making moves on bottom. Sovereign was forced out the Ravage, but it's not going to be enough to finish him off. 40R does the bounce back play, and he will be the one to claim the first blood for the side of paiN Gaming now. It looked like a valiant turnaround, attempt right there for EnemyGG, but only leaves Flying Zebra as the lone survivor down here. He's pretty beaten and battered himself, so he'll hustle back and away here and continue his grind towards level 6, but this just forces Ember Spirit to continue to be on the up and up. Now second in CS. Woo! Very close kill there on Slayer. That Crypt Swarm just not going to be enough, and Slayer might be forced all the way back to base here to kind of
Dire's
heal him
bottom
up.
tower is under attack.
really great stuff. Flying Zebra was low, just leeching experience. Got up to level 4, almost level 5. And that level 6 mark is coming through. All while this is happening, sure, the Ember Spirit's farming extraordinarily well, but BSJ, he's getting free farm of his own. No Mighty's picked up, by the way. He went treads Aquila. He's got the Overvenom with the poor man's shield. A lot of early game fighting potential. And, yeah, there's not much happening, really, after that last engagement. Flying Zebra will rotate, look for a couple of kills. And 40R is back bottom, maybe to zone out Sovereign. But it looks like there is some action that's going to happen mid. Look at this, the Smoke of Deceit, Dakota, and KotLGuy is going to lead the way with the Beastmaster now going up forward.
After they pepper Sovereign a bit, this mid lane is going to get a bit of attention. They creep with the smoke here, and the trap has been sprung. They make their move. That's going to be the roar, and that's going to be the kill. 4-on-1 jump. It was a mugging right before our eyes, and a successful one at that. This gets paiN back even now with EnemyGG 3-3 and a tier 1 tower as the frosting on the cake.
Dire's
Up
middle
to
tower
about a
has
600
fallen.
gold swing their way, and
Radiant's top
it looks like
tower is
possibly
under
the
attack.
return of the net worth advantage this game coming soon.
While that was happening, by the way, they lost the Tidehunter bottom. I didn't actually see what was going on, but I'm sure 40R was involved in some way, shape, or form. I think he was just going to work with the Flame Guard. He's up to 1,400 gold looking for his, his pickup of bots. So really, Sovereign just got caught really badly, but now it's going to be 40R getting Magic Missiled. And his Flame Guard is still going. He's looking for maybe some more aggression, but he's going to stay alive, farm this creep wave, and be absolutely fine. And just continue on his path of farming up, not doing anything.
Slayer's back now after that horrendous kind of a gank. And we'll get back into the grind of, I wonder if a note like that will force him to kind of consider building up into something like a drums just to be able to survive that bit more in case the burst potential is going to be out there, which it is. I mean, you're looking to have to survive possibly through something like a Doom, a Finger of Death, and I don't know. We'll have to see what kind of road they decide to go down here. Beastmaster, though, nearly 1,500 gold. A wagering going straight for the good book, and then that's when they can really ramp up the push power here. Death Prophet to kind of amplify that much further. Looks like the two of them are going to square up towards this top lane. Zebra is pushing to try to get this level 6 online here. I was hoping to kind of get some work done solo in the top lane, but I don't know if he saw that or not, but a sentry has now been dropped from the Death Prophet here.
No, they didn't get vision. Yeah, I mean, he might have been in range, but I don't think so. I think Flying Zebra's fine. And he's really very close to level 6. And if they can get involved in some of these fights, track is going to make all the difference in the world. And it looks like they can rotate some heroes. They probably just saw Flying Zebra, but I don't know. This is a dangerous engagement. And there's another TPing top. That's going to be the Lion, and everyone else is rotating in from enemy side. There's 3 up here, and this is going to be a huge fight, Dakota.
Big fight possibly coming in right here. BSJ is on the prowl right now. Makes his move in, and it's going to be for the Death Prophet. Doom looking to hustle forward and can't make it in time before Death Prophet goes down, but there's going to be the roar follow-up. A swap back, looking to go for the safe distance here. King RD cannot find a Doom target. Might be forced to go for the Slark, but even then, not going to be able to get it right there and now. Frozen barely holding on, not going to matter. 40R gets the grab on that one. Self-Astral temporarily keeping Slayer alive, but it ain't going to matter in the end, or will it? Sovereign turnaround rampage, and that gets them a couple of kills to boot. Ends up being a 2-for-2 split. We were saying it's going to be a hell of a fight, and it was one. We end up square even again, though, 5-5.
You expect more heroes to die in that situation, right? Like, 2 on each side? Like, almost all 5 heroes were in that engagement with just about... It might have been 4 versus 5 for at least the majority of the fight, but they rotated the Ember Spirit up. He was one of the heroes that did go down. The Ravage came out. The OD ulti provided them a lot of damage. But still, that's crazy, right? That's an insane fight that you don't expect to go that way.
No Doom was used, but with that Ravage also came out nearly too late, it felt like. I thought it might have just almost at that point, you're like, you might as well not use it and hope you can make another team fight happen soon. But it was enough to get them at least a couple of extra kills there at the end, and most of them were around to suck up that XP, too. Yeah,
and the OD had just enough... HP to survive and get off that OD ultimate, the Sandy's Eclipse. So now there's the Exorcism coming out, and that, you know, she died so quickly that she actually respawned and was trying to get back into the fray, but just didn't have time. And that's going to be the tier 1 tower. So that's the difference maker here. Is they will finally pick up an observer, or a tier 1 tower rather. Excuse me. It'll provide them extra experience and, or rather, gold going their way. And BSJ will be bottom, and we'll see if they TP back to defend this.
I'm thinking about it here. You know, never know where EnemyGG could actually be. They don't really have significant roach potential right now. I was looking over the Vengeful Spirit's items, and it looks like she's going to be going for an early 4 staff, I imagine. Just a Staff of Wizardry for now, so I guess any sort of extra ability. Uh-oh, they made their move for Flying Zebra. That's a Primal Roar. Silence is out. That's going to be a Soul Siphon, but it's going to be canceled out with the safety. Astral coming in. King RD swings in. Will he get a Doom off this fight? Swap back. He might be forced to, but he's not going to get it. That's a track gold pickup right there, and now BSJ eats up huge Crypt Swarm damage, but he will quickly Dark Pact and run himself right back around. It ends up being, again, only one body on the floor, and that one being the Doom. Again, not being able to get off, well, said Doom in this fight. So these fights always look like they're going to be so hectic, Maut, and end up with only one person, 2 people going down, and then it's just over.
It just starts with the initiation. And if you can pick up, you know, some stuns, obviously swap back and just bad positioning, EnemyGG will be in a great spot. So they get the kill out of the Doom, like you mentioned. They couldn't get the Doom off inevitably, and this game's getting interesting, man. You have both carries are both at really the same net worth. It just comes down to who can farm faster. And the Ember Spirit is bots now, and there's an Iron Talon Slark, but he can farm well with a Dark Pact and being able to move pretty quickly across the map, but still, I think the Ember Spirit, all things being equal, Dakota, I think 40R maybe farms a bit faster, especially if he gets a Battle Fury up.
Little steps forward here, plops down a sentry in lane. We're still looking to see the item path here for BSJ. It looks like it's going to be an SNY kind of a path, only getting the Band of Elfskin here, not going down your Blink or Shadow Blade kind of a road. So
Yasha into SNY probably,
Yeah.
I think, for BSJ.
Yeah, definitely. But and in all the same sense, 40R is pretty much going with the cookie cutter build up here on your Ember at about the Perseverance top though.
Yeah.
Zebra. And he thinks he can make a move here, and they are going to be right. Him and Frozen get the nice jump on a lonely little Beastmaster, and that is free track gold between the two of them. And all the meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like paiN are going to find their own response. Looking to go for the tier 1 takedown. This opens up easier possibilities for maybe moving in again to Roche yourself, but will they get away with it for spree? BSJ jumps in, going to get silenced. This time the Doom will be going out. Will they be able to get enough with the help of the Ravage there? It looks like they quickly take down 3. Swap back for KotLGuy. He got the Doom off this time, but he again will be going down. They set him up with the Astral here. BSJ is happy to fight through the Doom, and that will secure Frozen a double kill. And it will secure EnemyGG's biggest fight this game so far. Now pulling ahead 10-5.
That's the Blink Dagger reveal for the Tide Hunter right there. And that just did so much work. Blink into Sanity's Eclipse coming out. The Out will Devour, bumping out that damage with his right click. He's up to 32 in stolen intelligence. It's pretty good, Dakota. I'm currently not the smartest person in the world, but if I had 32 stolen intelligence, I'd be in a good spot.
Absolutely. This tier 1 will be going down. That secures all that much extra resources for them, and we're gonna need a bit of a pause right now. So, Maut, rest your voice. Don't worry about it. And
I'm honestly going insane currently.
Why? Why, Maut?
I don't know. I just like it's very interesting. I'm feeling obviously a lot better. You can tell that my voice is okay, with the exception of maybe a little bit too I don't know. It's not where it should be, and it's not currently 100%.
A small percentage better from when we first were listening to you, but it's still bits. We'll see.
Really? I thought it was much better. I didn't think it was.
It's getting better. I mean, it's getting a bit better. It is getting.
I mean, I had a lozenge, dude. That's a lozenge should increase the percentage by maybe.
It's like
50%.
an elixir. Yeah.
I'll trust you, Dakota. I'll give you.
Don't worry, dude.
My
I
trust.
would never lie to you. My first concern is going to be for you and your voice. And if you ever need to step out for whatever reason, I would. If you had violent diarrhea, I would have your back, and you had to go take over the show. No problem at all. Swap back. They're going for DP. Another easy-looking kill on her. BSJ on a killing spree right now, and I'm pretty damn sure that was some extra track gold coming their way. Look at the influx of gold already that's been showing across their team. Flying Zebra just about has a mech complete on top of his phase boots now. You talked about the Blink Dagger on Sovereign. He is going to, well, I guess he doesn't really need to kind of move forward for the greaves that you have this bounty hunter kind of picking one up. So I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to decide to build up on his own. Could just be a Shiva's or something, but
yeah,
we'll have to see.
I'm down for Shiva's. There's nothing coming out to,
Radiant's
really, I
middle
think,
tower has fallen.
nothing that's
Dire's
100%
top
needed,
tower
honestly. He's
is
got the
under
blink
attack.
now, and they already have, obviously, the mech that you're
Radiant's
talking
middle
about.
tower
Push
is
coming out
under
top
attack.
lane. It's going to be 40R. Leading the way, he's got Remnant back. This is going to be an interesting engagement. The finger on a Zebra gets him down to 70 HP, but it's just not enough damage, and, well, the Slark is able to find an easy pickoff elsewhere.
Oh, they're gonna find Lil. Yes, they will. They got a just-in-time and Frozen has his trigger finger on the R button with the swap ready to go. Unless he's a dirty legacy user. They're not dirty. But they get the deny. They'll pick up another kill. And this game felt pretty back and forth for a while, Maut, but suddenly has really cracked open here for EnemyGG. That puts them another 1K gold swing their way. The biggest net worth advantage of this game so far, now pushing past 5K on that. And they can begin to push forward now for some tier 2s. But first things first, we got to finish off that pesky tier 1 here at the bottom. He even commits the early exorcism for her. Are they going to go for a tier 2 with it? Or Roche? It looks like the tier 2 is going to be up next.
Yeah, and they'll continue to push. Obviously, the tier 1 top lane still alive, and the Doom is here to help out. And there's no real defense getting set up by EnemyGG. They're very, well, they're doing pretty damn well in terms of experiencing gold, but Frozen's here. He's got Swap. They have the Force Staff. The Courier will go down. That was by the Bounty Hunter. The Remnant away. So just in time, as of course, they all back up together. 40R makes it back to the well. Up top lane, it's going to be KotLGuy and the rest of the crew smoked up. Sitting in front of him, they're looking for a target. The target might be BSJ, but he is so hard to bring down. And they need that Doom desperately up on this hero. They'll walk forward here. He might get caught. We'll see. Yeah, they have vision with the Observer Ward. Or rather, no, I think they just had vision with maybe a hawk.
Yeah. They should know there is a sentry nearby there. Flying Zebra kind of got up with some creeps at that point earlier, but in the meantime, it doesn't seem like BSJ is under too much threat. He'll take care of that. Sovereign goes in, and he will take the dedicated farm for the Ancient Camp Mob, and look what he's going to be building up. This looks to be the Blastoise build, possibly. Point booster.
Blastoise. Hydro Pump, dude.
Hydro Pump style. Agnum Scepter going to be coming in, and, as I said before, I suppose when you got someone else who's going to be taking the reins and picking up the Greaves and the mech, he has the option now to just go for this.
I forgot about this item.
Yeah, it used to be a lot about going for, like, the Refresher, but you still do need that extra bit of mana, and just one Arcane's not always going to be enough, so I guess with Ags, you get that ridiculous range, gush of capability, and then after, if it does end up going that long of a game, you can get the Refresher.
I mean, I suppose he could go Octarine, right? That's an option, I suppose, that he has.
You do Ags and Octarine together, and it's really fun in Overthrow, let me tell you what. You're casting out blasts of water what feels like every 5 seconds. It's
a 7-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Oh god, Ember 40R might be in trouble. He's gonna walk right up in front of Zebra. He thinks he's alone here. The Ravage comes down, he avoids it.
He has made it out.
Oh my god, he's sleight of fist that Ravage.
That's 40R right there, ladies and gentlemen.
What a slippery guy.
Yeah, for real. Wow, makes it up to the top lane. He is good. And EnemyGG are just kind of, you know what, whatever. So what? We forced you to top lane. We're pushing bottom now. They're going to go for the tier 2. Obviously, paiN going to be going for the trade. But I would imagine that EnemyGG, with the benefit, having Slark with this Aegis, neck and neck with the top net worth, they're going to use this extra life when they can. It is a hard fight, though, not having Ravage, so I am curious to see if they're going to keep moving forward once this tower goes down. But their push is not that dramatic, Maut. They've already taken down the top tier 2. Finally, they'll be able to get theirs, but it does look like they will pull off and take their business elsewhere. To mid lane, I suppose.
Neither team really wanting to commit just yet, despite having the Aegis up and ready to go for BSJ. He's probably waiting for another item, I think. It's 3,000 gold. Just go Scotty. I think you're fine if you're BSJ. It's just such a good item in this game. Attack speed slow, the ability to... Or I guess you could go Abyssal if you wanted to and try to find this Ember Spirit 40R. Again, we've talked about how slippery he is. It's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see.
Already, though, after picking up the Boots of Travel, he's going for the finish of the Battle Fury here. Flying Zebra did walk right past him. We'll be spotting him out. Will they be able to find the setup? Nearby is Frozen, but they'll need a lot quicker catch if they want to be able to get a hold of 40R. They already saw once that a Blink Ravage is not going to be fast enough. So he'll continue his farm track. And would you feel like the pressure is more on paiN Gaming to kind of make something happen, or would you say it's for EnemyGG? By how the body language, if you will, is right now, I feel like paiN Gaming are the team that's a bit more relaxed. I feel like maybe they're more comfortable with 40R's Ember, but I don't know if that's going to be accurate or not.
I don't know, man. I feel like they're in a really rough spot, even with the Ember Spirit and late game potential. I just think that Lark has a lot of good late game potential as well, and even the OD too. If they haven't picked up BKBs, the Ember Spirit doesn't want to go for a BKB. If they could just lock him down with any sort of disable, whether that's swap and Magic Missile and the rest, I feel like they know that they might have to make something happen. They obviously don't want to fight into the Aegis. So they're going to try to split push as best as possible and make it so enemy can't get into the base, can't get up to the high ground. And BSJ will lose that Aegis eventually. And he's got almost his second ultimate orb for that Scotty like I talked about.
Yep.
Not going for the butterfly, not heading towards a basher. He'll pick up more than likely the Scotty first.
Got to get them stats. More attack speed, more agility coming his way. Can't fault him on that one. And just to add to note, it's... you look at this game, you look at the net worth, you look how it is on paper. Without question, I'd say EnemyGG are the favored ones right now. It feels like paiN, like they're not playing it like they're this far behind. Like it doesn't feel like they're too urgent. Maybe that could be a good thing for them. It doesn't feel like they've made too many mistakes at this point, so they're not looking to commit in situations where they're not going to be able to succeed, or at least they're taking the patience and sharing the farm where necessary to kind of itemize for the soon-to-be push for EnemyGG. So
yeah, I mean they're paiN look a lot more comfortable. I 100% agree with you. They're not that concerned, whether that's due to the fact that they trust 40R heavily, or they're accustomed to this kind of game They're accustomed to this type of, I guess, pushing strategy to a certain point, but look at this top lane. Saying is going to be just pushing up, and nearby is the bounty hunter flying Zebra. He's got an energy booster plus the mech. He's not going Guardian Greaves just yet, interestingly enough. He's almost got the money for it. But he just has the energy booster as well as the mech ready to go. So it's awkward. He'll put down an Observer Ward up on the Ancient stack as well. Everybody for the Radiant team will make a move towards this top lane. It might very well be on BSJ, who still has that Aegis.
Blink Doom. There it is. They make their move. BSJ could be a bit of trouble, but he's looking to fight his way through it. The Soul Siphon is sucking away his life force, but it's not going to be enough. Finally, the Yules is going to have to come out to save the mighty King RD, who quickly goes for his retreat. Now tracked up. BSJ not looking to let up quite yet. Is going to be silenced here. Now comes out 40R. He gets a good sleight of fist, and that will be enough to put the brakes on EnemyGG. But this all started as a paiN gaming gank attempt, Maut, and it was not successful. BSJ has shown that his Scotty has allowed him to certainly take a punch.
They still had a couple of abilities left to kill him. I think they wanted to try to kite and keep him alive until the Aegis wore off. And it just did, by the way. It wore off, you know, maybe 5 seconds after he was able to escape. So that's huge that he stays alive. And he especially, you know, the Aegis wore off and he didn't die with it. That's very important. They still had Roar, I think. They still had Finger. They still had everything really left in the tank for paiN Gaming. And they just didn't throw it up onto the Slark. So I'm very surprised. They're going to smoke up now. They're going to look for potential initiation. And that may very well be the line. It probably will be, or might be the Death Prophet. But they're going to make a move, and we'll see who they go on.
They begin to scavenge through here, hoping to get any sort of sign of paiN Gaming at this point. But no opportunity to present itself. paiN Gaming, no, they can't really afford at this point to hand over any sort of casual loss here that could lead to tier 2s going down, and possibly in your follow for the Roche, or maybe a push in for the first set of racks. So Zebra takes his business all the way back just as 40R will actually head out. Split push is still coming in, and 40R has actually lost his first place net worth position, even though he's finished out his Battle Fury. Now he's building up for the crit. He still lacks behind here the Slark potential here from BSJ, but
yeah.
Could be potential for BSJ to kind of get 6-slotted very fast, and could be capped, but I mean, I still don't feel confident that paiN Gaming are going to be able to have enough to stop him. But they're looking to make a move now, Maut. They smoke up. They are hustling out from the base here. Maybe they have their own set of timers, but they look like they're heading towards potentially the Roche area. If not, just looking to take their woods back.
Yeah, that's pretty important. Make it so that they can actually get farm on the Ember Spirit. Exorcisms of it. I mean, they have everything. They have literally everything for paiN Gaming, and gonna be interesting. They're gonna walk up to the high ground and walk right into the Slark.
There it is. Can they do it this time? Doom, they let him free. He runs. The swap's there, and Frozen will be the martyr in need for EnemyGG. And that is going to be a lost attempt there for paiN. We're not done yet. That mighty Gush does come flying out, what looks like from nowhere. But that is Sovereign now with his Agnums complete on the Tidehunter. And paiN Gaming are going to, unfortunately, not get enough done with that smoke. EnemyGG now could just casually play this one out a bit, push these lanes back in, and, well, actually, BSJ, who's making his move, gets the pounce for Death Prophet. But she does have that TP at the ready and will be able to make it away. Now do EnemyGG just kind of keep the lanes pushed forward past the river and then probably double back for the Roche, which is potentially soon to come up, or we'll see if they decide to keep moving on forward. They have Ravage ready to go. Sandy's Eclipse ready to go. And they know there's no Roar for at least 30 seconds, and there's no Doom for at least a minute.
Yeah. This is their time. They've got Ravage like you talked about. They threw pretty much everything in the kitchen sink at the BSJ, and they just couldn't get that kill, but really good spot for the Vengeful Spirit to be in. Easy swap back with the Aether Lens. He has a lot of mobility because of that. And Roche is up in 2 minutes, roughly. So it's not quite that early Roche that they're looking for. And paiN Gaming, all of their abilities will be back up, and they can contest this Roche on. It's not going to be easy, but they pretty much have to try.
Bountiful.
And as Zebra does check it out, it will be an unfortunate timer if you're an EnemyGG fan, and a good one if you're happy for paiN. This will stall things out a little bit longer here, but they are still not in a very good and active fighting position. In fact, BSJ is still taking a pretty aggressive stance here in the paiN Woods. He's hoping to catch a roaming support who's just trying to maybe get some wards down, but this is a hard team to keep wards against. I'm surprised to see that there is no gem yet picked up, even for EnemyGG. I feel like it's something they could benefit a lot from, you know, given they have the Slark on their team and it can easily do a bit of dewardage, but as it stands right now, I think they just feel confident with, you know, their mark on the map. You know, 13-5, net worth now at 14K. There's a few outs here for paiN Gaming.
Oh boy, Beastmaster's dead. PSG just finds him easily, and even popped the Necro. It's gonna give him some extra gold PSG probably didn't need, or he shouldn't have gotten. You going back to your vision statement, you're absolutely right. I mean, obviously there's a Beastmaster on the Radiant side, but in terms of vision, you look at this, you look how much they've gotten on the Dire side into the Radiant Woods, into the Radiant side of the map. They're winning without needing that gem like you talked about. But here we go. The pressure came into the tier 3 tower. They've got everybody here, but not... Hold on.
Yeah, safety swap just in case there for Flying Zebra. A little bit of pokage there on the high ground, but not super necessary. Frozen, who did complete out that 4-staff, now has the Ether Lens. Makes that swap range pretty damn nice. He even already has the swap itself to level 2, so it's very easy for him to stay out from a lot of trouble and be able to get those quick saves, unlike the Slark. And we already know Slark, if he's able to get just even a few seconds outside from the heat of a battle, he will be in fighting shape in a matter of moments. He goes, though. He wants lion meat, and he's going to be able to get it. Frozen, though, is able to snipe down that kill. But in the end, they will take Lion out of the equation here, and the Vice Grip from EnemyGG will be continued to tighten here around the paiN base, I'm sure, especially after they're able to kind of snag up this Roche, which is up and at the pick.
Finally.
EnemyGG. Yeah.
Venge gets the kill secure. Pretty sure she just right-clicked him. I don't know if she actually stunned or not, but she gets involved, and I guess BSJ's like, well, that's fine. I'm going to have Roche here. I'm going to have Aegis. They can contest. I mean, the biggest thing about that Lion kill is that he doesn't have buyback. He's not going to buy back. He didn't even add it just to, you know, try to contest Roche. And they know that it's going to go down, and they can't do anything about it. And they're not pushing either. They get nothing out of that time where everybody's at Roche for EnemyGG, and that's just so bad. It's so bad for paiN Gaming. So now they have to fight into. They can't kill Slark once. He's not died this entire game. How are you going to do it twice? How's BSJ gonna die twice if you're paiN Gaming?
You pray.
I don't know. I have no idea.
We'll see. There is a gem finally picked up. It will be Frozen who does decide to grab it, but BSJ has already made his move, though, towards this bottom lane, and paiN Gaming have put everything they can towards this top lane. They've already shown Beastmaster in the lane, Death Prophet in the lane. They are hustling for this top lane right now. EnemyGG are certain to pull back. I mean, unless they want to kind of make their own confident trade at this point, but still, paiN Gaming, not a team you want to underestimate their pushing potential into, with a Necrobook level 3 Beastmaster, with his, you know, aura going out there, the Death Prophet with their ultimate.
Is under attack.
But it looks like they will actually
Dire's
pull off.
top
They
tower
recognize,
is under attack.
they don't have the vision to see him cutting across the river, but you could just do the deduction that once they don't show up in the mid lane, something could be up. So they make their return back to the base here, and it's going to be a lot of cat and mouse chasing, it feels like Maut. Just one team kind of looking for the opening on the other. EnemyGG could end this game nearly flat out with one significant fight, while paiN Gaming would need a lot more than that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, but neither team's committing to a push, you know. They're just making sure they split push, they keep the lanes pushed in, and after that, you know, they TB back home. paiN made the right decision. They knew that everyone was missing off the map, and if you get smoked from behind and they get off a Ravage, the game's pretty much over at that point. Enemy just win if they are able to smoke behind paiN Gaming. Instead, they're all going to be kind of split up. A couple of them here still in the jungle, including Slayer. They're going to come together on the Radiant side of the top lane. Daedalus is now done for 40 yards, so he's got that damage. Is it going to be enough is the question.
Man, but then I look over at this Tidehunter. You know, Grant had been boasting a lot about this player, Sovereign a lot, and he's nearly got a refresher, Agnums, Blink Dagger already set up and good to go. Some good stuff right now, and hell, even with the benefit of this Water Blast, he's able to kind of even outspam these waves a bit and keep all these pushes at bay. BSJ has decided to stay at this top lane right now, and he makes his move for this tier 3, brings it down to about half of its life before most of paiN show up at attendance here for what, you know, could be a potential fight, but again, EnemyGG will avoid it for now. Now, they have only a little bit of time left for this Aegis. They want to kind of, use it to the benefit of them taking a fight. It looks like they'll just kind of continue to hold out here, Maut. Probably holding out for that item right there, the refresher being complete. Now it is go time for sure. 2 Ravages to work with here. Has a lot of freaking lockdown.
Again, though, it's just paiN doesn't want to fight into the Aegis. Is the biggest thing. And they don't want to fight in general because of all the items that you're talking about, all the abilities you're talking about. So they're even like they'll try to split push, but if they can't, they'll just stay in base, which is what everyone else on the Radiant side is doing, with the exception of 40R. He's out farming. There's you can finally see that paiN Gaming are walking out together just to farm. How you know it's bad. And they're even going to try to place some wards down. Essentially, going to get placed, but there's some wards elsewhere.
Self-Fuels will avoid the track, but BSJ has already gotten a brief sight of it. But, paiN Gaming do have a bit of vision themselves with those boars, with those hawks staying out there from the Beastmaster. They're going to avoid any sort of early confrontation here. And this is the moment now for EnemyGG to try to close out this game number 1. Nearly 3.5k saved up on BSJ here. Could become that much more of a rich man here if this fight goes well for him.
He's going.
He's in. The rest of the team needs to come to his aid just in case.
Love Aegis. They have a siege creep, which is about to go down. They have another creep wave, and BSJ's going to go forward with Aegis ready to go. I think it's going to be going down here. He's got a minute still of Aegis. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they just have to take care of top. It's the biggest issue. And Slayer will back up. That means the rest of the team is going to head out. Downward split pushing bottom. Oh, TPing in 40R. He might look for Sovereign. He's just going to farm this group wave instead.
No, he'll just show him he's there. They make a jump for him, but this Tidehunter is pretty big. Keeps the wave back and will just kind of force 40R to continue to move on forward for the cup in mid lane. They got some good damage here on the BSJ. He still has that Aegis here. Careful with the timing. He actually pulls off. Continue to just kind of poke a bit. This tier 3 continues to get lower and lower, but still no tower to fall. Jump in though. They make the move for BSJ. A Doom committed while he has no Aegis here. And he's just quick to walk away. You wouldn't even think he has a Doom on him right now because he's healing up.
Yeah, I mean, it's Shadow Dance still going. They're looking to go back in. They want to fight.
This is it. Not maybe the best situation at all for paiN Gaming, but they get the swap back. They're looking to go for the Beastmaster and taking him out before he gets off that Primal Roar. No Ravage really even necessary at this point. They have 2 of them to use. The Lion goes down, and
Beastmaster TP'd out, I think.
Beastmaster made it away.
Yeah, he's a blink now. So, yeah, I mean, Doom doesn't do much right now. He already is in some trouble. BSJ is able to use the passive part of Shadow Dance. They don't even care that Aegis is gone now. There's no line for 13. They really want this tier 3 tower. They're probably going to find it. And there it's about to go.
Come on, guys. Really? One more auto attack. 8 life right here. They're not even going to deny it.
There you go.
Well, BSJ will be able to finish it off. Now makes his move in forward. Everyone from paiN Gaming is back up and ready to go. Just the Doom cooldown is going to be there, but we saw how benefit that actually was in the last skirmish, so they'll have to make do with everything else. As many sleight of fists as they can to kind of chop up this aggressive push. It's doing some good damage here, softening up BSJ quite a bit. Now they look to make their move. Yule's onto Slayer. He pops his BKB. Now begins the right click, but he is getting sucked up from that soul fight. Siphon's going to be forced back. There's going to be the first Ravage. No. This one just on Death Prophet. The second one will catch a lot more and allow him to quickly sweep through the Lion, finish off the Doom, and make their move for 40R, who ended up being the lone survivor, but a buyback is going to be there for Death Prophet. Now they make the move for her, and she just gets absolutely slaughtered, and that will be the game. It takes a little bit of extra time, but EnemyGG do get that GG call coming out from paiN, and we'll take game number 1 of this best of 3.
That was... It wasn't, the aggression really wasn't there. It was just kind of a lot of tiptoeing between the 2 teams, man. It's split pushing, oh, we don't want to fight into the Aegis. We don't want to fight into the Ember Spirit. He's got a Daedalus now. We want to do, we want to make this play, but it's so hard because there's maybe a Refresher or Tidehunter. It felt slow. But EnemyGG, they had a lead, and they're able to secure that lead throughout the game. They make all the right plays. It wasn't, necessarily a cool game to watch, but they made every play they needed to make to win that game. BSJ did not die that entire game, and neither did the Bounty Hunter. Just a lot of really good play coming out from EnemyGG, and really good victory. They deserve that one, absolutely.
And with that, we're going to be cutting to a small break here. Maut, take that time. And I have to admit, you actually do sound like you're getting a lot better. So whatever you're doing, keep it up. All right?
Water.
And then we'll be back for game water. We'll be back for game number 2 for BTS Americas 4. It is paiN Gaming versus EnemyGG. This is KotLGuy. That's Maut. And we'll see you soon for more Dota action.